Welcome to Bond SEX, where X marks the spot to get you on the top. This is Lance Spartan Stock Bounty Hunter, back at you again with another great plays of the week. This is week 49, December 5th to December 9th, getting really close to the end of the year. Disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, nor am I advising anyone to spend their money. This is only for educational purposes and only my opinion. Any money spent is at the individual's own discretion and not due to any information from me. So if you're new to the channel, this is my scanner, where I scan stocks over the weekend to determine the best plays of the week, looking at trend, true value. I created the spreadsheet quite some time ago. I have my own formulas that pulls out the data that I upload every weekend. So without further ado, we'll get started. I pretty much start out with looking at the market, start with the NASDAQ. Tracking where it's going kind of helps decide where to go in on stock prices. So looking at the NASDAQ 1 year, 1 day, again, we're getting pretty close to the end of the year. The NASDAQ has been bullish for the last couple of weeks. And we see last week, we see a little bit of a flag, a little bit of a signal that it might be a little bit of a pull down. We saw that Tuesday. And we see a strong pull-up Wednesday, and the market kind of propped up and stayed up Thursday and Friday. It ended up being a little bit higher than I expected to be last Friday, but still in a great direction. The market is. I do expect a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of a pull down, not too far off from where I expected to be last Friday. Anywhere between 11,141 to around 11,341 in this week. Is what I expect. We're getting real close to touching off on the SMA. And so that's a really important point. And I expect will be a little bit more of a pullback once it does touch this SMA. It may touch off on that this week if the market turns bullish or continues to turn bullish this week. It may touch off on SMA in this week. But if not, it would probably happen in the next couple of weeks. And then we expect for this to pull back down going into the new year. So that's my expectations for the NASDAQ. MACD looks pretty good. Momentum also looks pretty good at this point. So a little bit of a flag we see Tuesday of last week, which gives me a signal that may pull back down to retrace and cover down on the downside there. So that's my expectation for the for the NASDAQ this week. Moving on to the New York Stock Exchange, very similar case, actually a little bit better case in terms of how the market's been reacting. Definitely stayed high. I expected to pull down a little bit more last week. This was really, really bullish. The New York Stock Exchange has really been taking off quite a bit over the last couple of weeks. Don't really like what I'm seeing in the MACD or the momentum. I do feel like this one will come back down and probably rest around around the 15,395 to about the 15,583 by Friday. Those are my call outs for the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange. So let's go ahead and get into the plays of the week. And so this week, Affirm comes in as a short-term hold at a trend of a 2. It's a decent trend up. 25 cents overpriced at a true value of $14.37. So let's go to the charts and see what Affirm shows. I haven't called out Affirm in quite a while. I think I called it out early in the year. This one's been beaten up pretty bad. This is a pretty rough stock when it comes to valuation points. And so we look at how much the stock has dropped since December of last year. It was a high of $128.86. It's down to a low of $11.94. Hasn't been very profitable looking at the earnings per share. When the recent earnings per share was $86 loss per share, a little bit more than what they expected to lose. And so, but we do see a lot of manipulation in stock coming in here lately. I do like this, like what I'm seeing on the MACD. Momentum's looking a little better. I like what I'm seeing on the cross up here between the teal, the green, right here coming in to this week. I think at $12.70 is a great value for Affirm. It's on a wave count of -2, -2 on the month and on the quarterly count. So it's two extensions down on a balance sheet of 0. And so that's a very great opportunity for this one to pull up. I do think in this in this week, I think a short-term hold, I believe you can definitely cover some manipulation, uncover manipulation from 1532 on 11/18. We had 15 million shares traded on that day. So I think you can cover that manipulation and at least come and show support on the blue 13-day EMA on the Williams alligator here. So by Friday, I expect anywhere between 1460. That's about anywhere between 1460. We can get in at 1270. So that's about 14% to about potentially 30%. I think it's up to 1647. I do expect it to get anywhere around 15 something, so around 22% potential as well. So Affirm going in at 1270. That's my call out. Next on the list is Enovix. So Enovix called out last week, still moving at a pretty decent trend of a 2. It's a little overpriced this week at 21 cents, coming in at a true value of $12.74. So looking at Enovix. And pretty good call out last week. Came down a price point twice last week, Monday and Tuesday. Great opportunity for this one. If you got in at 11.94, didn't quite get all the way up to where I expected to be. Did touch off at a high of 13.05, so about 9% it gained last week from a low to a high. Definitely some still opportunity here. I think at 11.75 is a great price point this week. I'm going in a little bit lower than I did this week. I see some resistance here that makes me think it's going to pull back. I actually see the momentum pulling down a little bit, and also the MACD pulling back a little bit. So I think this one's a good one to get into. I think by Friday, this one you could get out somewhere around, I believe the resistance is going to be here on the blue. It's showing the potential here on the red, but I think by the blue here, anywhere around 1245 to 1376 by Friday. So that's my call out for Enovix this week. So that's about 5 to 16% potential by Friday. So market continues to show a little bit of a bullish stance. Sometime in the middle of this week, I think that's a great opportunity for this one. I wouldn't be surprised this one pulled back down to around 1086. Still on the wave count of -1. So definitely a good long-term hold for Enovix this week, starting in. Next on the list, coming on down, Amazon comes in at a trend of a 2, 84 cents on sale already, coming in at a true value of $94.97. So let's look at Amazon. Haven't called this one out this year. So we'll look at scanning out 1 year, 1 day. And Amazon has been a pretty good stock over the year. It had a high of 177.50 this time last year. It's been in a low of 85.87 recently. It's been in the cake zone very little, but it has rested above the cake almost around the first quarter of the year. Midway through the year, kind of rested below the cake range. It's been resisting this green SMA 180-day SMA that I have drawn here. It's been quite resisting that quite a while. And so we see recently a lot of manipulation coming in on the stock. They had an earnings report recently where they actually performed better than expectations. And they've got a lot of volume coming in here. So a lot of uncovered manipulation all the way up to 103.19. Also got some more uncovered manipulation up to 104.59. So a lot of opportunity for this one long term. You can't go wrong with this one at this point in time. It's progressively tracking up pretty nicely here. At $92 even is where I'm going in this week with Amazon. The opportunity to get out by Friday if you didn't want to hold at 93.57 to 96.19. Definitely, this one's got a lot of opportunity to come back and touch this SMA again. This one can definitely be a long-term hold. It's on a wave count, it's -2 on monthly and quarterly. So it's 2 waves extended down from the balance of 0. So therefore, there's a lot of opportunity for this one to pull back up because it wants to be at 0. So a lot of opportunity with Amazon. So you can't go wrong with this one this week as well. Next on the list is coming on down. QuantumScape comes in at a flat trend, 17 cents over price at the true value of $7.38. QuantumScape's a pretty good company that I've called out quite a few times this year. I've invested and traded this company quite a few times as well this year. Last call out was around the early November timeframe. Called out 1771, came down to price point. Did a day trade on this one. No, actually, I traded this one. Swing traded over the week. Sold out around this price point here. So this one's been pretty good as far as volumes, been pretty consistent. I've got an alert here at $6.89. So that's where I'm going in with QuantumScape. Take a stab at it again this week at $6.89 with a potential by Friday, $7.17 to about $7.74. That's about 5 to 12%. So not a bad trade. Definitely can hold on to this a little longer. This has been a constant resistance line. It's been pretty impactful, stopping out the price, and we see it actually cross over that resistance zone last week. So this is a great opportunity for this one to kind of go bullish. I'm seeing some pull up in the MACD and a little bit in the momentum as well over the last couple of weeks. So not a bad point to go in with QuantumScape this week. So 689 is my call out for QuantumScape. Next on the list is Plug Power. Plug Power comes in at a flat trend, 9 cents on sale at $15.90. Plug Power is another one I called out last week and called out a couple times this year. See how this one turned out last week. So looking at Plug Power, actually came down to price point, $14.75, just like I called out, and pretty much went up to where I expected to be by Friday, and turned back around on Friday. So definitely a great opportunity to get into this one. If you got into this one, that was about 9.8% gain that week, last week. And then this week, pretty similar week I expect. Definitely going in with the same price point at $14.75. Definitely feel like it's going to resist on this blue here. It's showed resistance here on the red, which is a little concerning. A little bit of a pull down on the MACD. Momentum's pulling down as well. So I think it will pull down, probably be very similar to last week with the 1475 drop. And then we'll see a pull up in the resistance here somewhere around the 1642, 1665, or 1568. So if you can get in at 1475 and get out around the 1663, that's 12.45%, or around 1573 at 6.38%. But either way, Plug Power is in a great position. Looking at wave counts, this one's at a wave count balance sheet of 0, so it's balanced out on a monthly count. Definitely can expect this one to pull back up based on what we've seen it do previously underneath the cake zone. So this is great zoning potential here. Great opportunity to load up. Definitely have a lot of opportunity to get back up to the SMA, which is at $20. And then the cake range, we're looking at what the price wants to be is in the $25 range. So great opportunity with Plug Power this week for short or long term, and definitely going long with Plug Power. Next on the list, ChargePoint comes in a flat trend at 55 cents on sale, true value of $12.19. Have ChargePoint as a short-term 1-week hold. Let's look at ChargePoint. I haven't called out this company before, so let's look at it at a 1 year, 1 day, zooming out. And this one has a great balance. And when I say a balance, has a great balance on as far as how it moves throughout the cake zone. It's down underneath. It's when you want to load up and go in. You see it move above, down underneath again. You see how it moves up above. And so this one on a high of 22.18 for the year, a low of $8.50. And that was back in May. So we see a nice pattern here. It's jumped above the SMA back in August and stayed above it for about 2 or 3 months. Then we see recently it's fell below the SMA. So great opportunity for this one to again come back and attack this SMA, jump above, get into the cake zone, again get into this extra area above the cake zone. And so we would say this week, $11.43 is a great price point. See a lot of manipulation in this stock. That's why I would definitely say a 1 week hold for sure. Definitely to come down and cover. I'm sorry, come back and cover the zone here at $12.43. On December 1st, we see 19 million shares traded. When you look at an average of probably about somewhere around 5 million shares traded, you see how many more shares are coming in buying around this $12 range. And so it's at $11.64. It's already below true value, which is at $12.18 or $12.19. I'm sorry. A great opportunity to get in with this one at $11.43, I believe, this week. I do see a little pullback on the MACD and momentum, and I think there's a great opportunity for this one to come back and resist, if not on the red here, on the blue. So either on the 8 or the 13-day EMA. So you're looking at about anywhere between 6 to 10% gain by Friday. So that's my call out for ChargePoint. I really like this one this week. And even for long term, this is a great opportunity to hold on to see this one rise above as well. So that's my call out for ChargePoint this week. And then last but not least, coming in at a flat trend, $3.69 on sale is Advanced Auto Parts at a true value of $156.72. Haven't called out Advanced Auto Parts. I've been scanning it for quite a while. So we'll look at 1 year, 1 day. And this is another stock that looks really good as far as how to time and kind of get ready to load up on the stock for it kind of goes north. We can prepare for it to come south, and we can see in the cake zone here, when it gets below, it likes to go right above and back into zone, comes below, goes right back into zone. It has been resistant on the SMA, as we see here over the last 6-7 months. And actually, I have $244.55 we saw in January. And we just seen a recent low, literally this past week, of $145.14. So we see a lot of manipulation here, a lot of devaluation. And we see that coming in on the earnings report where they did not meet expectations. They fell quite short. And a lot of times you see that happen, but they'll see a lot of recovery in some cases. And we see some momentum starting to pull back up since that earnings report. And we see the MACD definitely opening up quite a bit. But we do see a pullback in the price action. But I believe at 149.45 is a great price point. At the end of the day at 153.03. But 149.45 is a great price point. This one does give dividends. And so I see no reason why this stock will not at least come back and show an attack on the 8-day SMA, which by Friday is showing at 156. Or definitely not, don't believe it will not be afraid to come back and attack the 13-day EMA, showing at 164.69. So a lot of opportunity for this to come back and even touch the SMA here, which is way up even higher. So a lot of opportunity on this one. This one's been definitely beaten up because the earnings report were not good. But definitely by Friday, I feel like you can get out anywhere between 152.60 to about 156.57. So about 4.5 to almost right under 2%. So that's my call out for Advanced Auto Parts. So that's it for the plays of the week. Thank you for joining me. We're getting really close to the end of the year. Still have a lot of great videos that we want to put out as far as tips and tricks and some other things that I've been working on. It's been a lot of delays on some of my videos because of just really focused on really trying to work through this challenging market this year. So appreciate you joining me. And again, if you like technical analysis, please share this video with other people, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for some more episodes coming soon. Thank you for joining me.